May 12th, 2025, Panama City Planning Board meeting is now in order. Please take the roll.
Board Member Carroll.
Here.
Board Member Stamps.
Here.
Board Member Barker.
Here.
Board Member Rich.
Here.
Chairman Newbauer.
Here. Are there any changes or deletions to the agenda?
No.
No. Okay. Are there announcements or disclosures from board members? Okay. Approval of the previous meeting's minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the April 14th minute?
So moved. Second.
Got a motion second? Please take roll.
Board Member Carroll.
Here.
Board Member Stamps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Board Member Barker.
Yes.
Board Member Rich.
Yes.
Chairman Newbauer.
Yes. All right, I'll now read the process for quasi-judicial proceedings. The following is a procedure which the board will follow during quasi-judicial hearings. Public hearing announced, introduction of application by staff. 2, ex parte communication, disclosure by board members. 3, identification of applicant and affected parties that intend to participate in the hearing. Affected parties that only intend to make a statement may do so at the public participation part of the agenda. An affected party means any person or entity that will suffer an adverse effect to an interest protected or furthered by the ULDC, including interests related to health and safety, police and fire protection, service systems, densities or intensities developments, transportation facilities, healthcare facilities, equipment or services, and environmental or natural resources. The alleged adverse interest may be shared in common with other members of the community at large, but must exceed in degree the general interest in community good shared by all persons. Now turn it over to council for swearing of witnesses. Wish to speak.
If you are here on any item to speak today, except for 6E, the very last one on the agenda, if you plan to speak today, if you would stand now and raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you'll give in these matters will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right. Thank you very much. When you come to the podium, if you will state your name and address for the record and that you have been sworn. And there are a lot of people that didn't stand up that may want to speak. That doesn't mean you can't speak, but you will have to be sworn in if you come up to speak on an item today, okay?
Thank you. Item A.
So item A is a variance. It is case number CPC-PLN-2025-0595 and CPC-PLN-2025-0596. It is, the owner is Jonathan Brooks. He's also the applicant. The address is 709 10th Court, parcel ID 17-033-000-000 and parcel ID number 17-033-010-000. The applicant has requested variance from the neighborhood downtown setbacks, specifically the 10-foot maximum front setback, the 80% minimum frontage occupancy, and the 25-foot minimum parking setback that is defined in table 104-36.1.8.
Thank you. Any questions for staff from the board? All right. Is the applicant here to speak on this item? Okay. Is anyone in the audience here to speak on this item? That's interesting. All right. All right. Any discussion from the board before we call for a motion?
Pretty
So-
self-explanatory.
Yeah, neighborhood setback, it's a new set of regulations as compared to some of our previous ones. They're asking to have parking in the front and then shift to the side. Yes, so yes, you're right. It is the, one of the new zoning districts where it tries to pull the building up closer to the road and have parking in the rear. However, in this case, the applicant, wish he was here.
I'm sorry, I am here. I submitted everything.
Okay.
I wasn't here to speak. I
Okay.
submitted all the information.
Okay. But to answer your question, and I'll let him come up if he wants, or y'all can let him come up if you want. According, I believe the applicant has said that he's unable to put the parking in the back on this property. So what he'd like to do is move the house farther back away from 10th and put the parking in the front. So that kind of gives you a
Yeah.
1,000-foot view of what he's trying to accomplish.
It's in one of the new districts. Any questions you want? Is that good explanation? That probably wouldn't hurt you to come.
Yeah, that's good. You can come up. That's what I meant. I'd like to clarify.
Jonathan Simmons.
You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Thank you.
Jonathan Simmons, home address 614 Timbers Crossing, Lynn Haven, Florida 32444.
Thank you. Any questions?
So it's
So was,
what-
was Mr. Fuller's accurate?
Correct.
description?
The lots are 40 foot wide. In order to take up the 80% occupancy on the front, the house would have to be 32 foot wide, leaving 8 foot of room to go park behind the house, which is, if you have utilities, a fence, anything else, this does not leave you enough room. Plus you have a new house going up next door that's fell into the old code, which would require my lot to have a 20-foot setback, side setback, which only gives me 20 foot of usable land, which I would have to try to build a house at 80 foot or 80% wide on a 20-foot lot. It's just mobile home wouldn't fit on it. And there's no alley access. It backs up to 11th Street within 25 foot.
Understood. Any other questions? All right,
Makes
thank
sense to me.
you. Anyone else wishes to address this item? See none. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion second? Please take roll.
Board Member Carroll.
yes.
Board Member Stamps.
Yes.
Board Member Barker.
Yes.
Board Member Rich.
Yes.
Chairman Newbauer.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Item B.
Item B is case number CPC PLN 2025-0409. The applicant is Sean Kelly. The owner is D.R. Horton and is located at 7180 Liberty Boulevard. In July 2019, the City of Panama City approved the Liberty PUD Master Plan, which is a 943-acre plan unit development. It will be developed through multiple phases over the next 10 years. The developer, D.R. Horton, is seeking final approval of Liberty Phase 10 subdivision final plat.
Thank you. Any questions from boards or staff?
Has any special considerations with the flats or?
Just have to get the approval from TRC, which I believe they already have, and submit for a performance bond.
I believe they have provided.
Yeah.
TRC, just for the audience, is the,
Technical Review Committee.
all right. Any other questions? All right, is the applicant here to address this item? All right, is anyone here from the audience here to address this item? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
Approve.
Second.
Motion second, please take roll.
Board Member Carroll.
Yes.
Board Member Stamps.
Yes.
Board Member Barker.
Yes.
Board Member Rich.
Yes.
Chairman Newbauer.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Item C.
Item C is case number CPC PLN 2025-0462. It is a request for a final plat. This project, the address is, or the location is in Shoreline Circle. The parcel ID number is 26788-000-000. This project was the construction and development of a 25-lot subdivision for detached single-family homes on individual lots with the necessary underground utility improvements, stormwater facilities, roads, sidewalks, and landscaping. The City Commission approved a development agreement regarding this project on February 27th of 2024, and Development Services staff alongside the Technical Review Committee issued development order approval on September 18th, 2024. Per the approved and executed development agreement, the final plat should have a note on the title page restricting the development to only detached private single-family homes for residential use and prohibits the construction of duplexes, triplexes, and quadplexes. We recommend approval of the final plat with the conditions of resolving all of the Technical Review Committee comments. We did receive the updated plat today with this restriction, the language added on there. And then the other two conditions are provide the financial guarantee of 110% of the total cost of improvements for the remainder of the sidewalks, and then provide a maintenance bond or place cash in escrow for any potential defects for 10% of the cost of the improvements.
Thank you. Any questions from board members for staff? Right. Is the applicant here to speak on this item?
I'll answer questions.
Okay, thank you.
William Thompson, 600 Ohio Avenue, Lynn Haven, 32444. I have been sworn in.
Thank you. Questions for the applicant?
This is that.
What's that?
Yep, he's the applicant's representative.
Yeah, he's that engineer. Okay, guess you're good. Thank you. Does anyone from the audience wish to speak on this item? All right, seeing none, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Please make sure that you make this motion to approve, subject to the language that Savannah just added to it,
Yep.
okay?
Motion to approve with the conditions and the language that Savannah added.
Second.
Have a motion second, please take roll.
Board Member Carroll.
Yes.
Board Member Stamps.
Yes.
Board Member Barker.
Yes.
Board Member Rich.
Yes.
Chairman Newbauer.
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0.
thank you. Item D.
Item D is case number CPC PLN 2025-0492. It is a request for planned unit development. The owner of the property is Thomas Shelton, and the applicant is Raymond Greer with Design West Group. The subject property is parcel ID number 03875000000. For some background information, on April 9th in 2013, the city adopted a comprehensive policy 1.1.5 of the future land use element, which establishes the Panama City North Planning Area, and it designates the future land use category as urban community. As part of policy 1.1.5, prior to any approval of a development plan in the Panama City North Planning Area District, there should be an overlay district adopted for each property in order to establish development patterns, allowable uses, and maximum build-out potential. The subject property for this request was annexed into the city of Panama City on March 10th, 1998. On February 25th, 2014, the city approved an ordinance amending the future land use element of the comprehensive plan to add policy 1.1.9, which is the Shelton Property Overlay District. If you refer to my staff report, it lists several different policies and goals which the Shelton Property Overlay District will govern this piece of property. But the applicant's request today is a proposal of a master plan for the Shelton Property Overlay District, which encompasses approximately 1,200 acres of land that's located in the Panama City North Planning Area. The proposed PUD is intended to take an estimated 13 years to complete, broken into approximately 8 different phases of construction and development. Each phase of construction is proposed to include a range of 200 to 400 dwelling units, and with the non-residential land uses being developed as the market allows. The maximum number of allowable square footage for this overlay property is 450,000 square feet. The estimated, or the maximum allowance for the units, it would be 1,800 units. It will be imperative that the appropriate transportation and roadway impact mitigation is addressed at the development order stage. And we recommend approval with the conditions listed in our staff report.
Thank you. Any questions from the board for staff?
What did it state somewhere where the anticipated start date range was for this project?
I don't believe so. It says an estimated 13 years.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I didn't
I
see
would,
that.
I don't have that number.
Okay. Well, I was looking at the road improvements that are anticipated versus the construction and trying to figure out how the timing of all that hit, so.
Part of a PUD development package as it progresses through its stages is to provide additional information as each stage kind of progresses. So that will be something that we will be obtaining. We don't have it at this stage.
Okay.
Any other questions? Is the applicant here for this item?
Good afternoon. I'm Ray Greer. My address is 2910 Cary Forest Parkway, Tallahassee, Florida. And I am the applicant's representative, and I haven't been sworn in. And what I'd like to do is take a moment and kind of back up This is in Panama City North. You probably don't deal with Panama City North a lot. You've just dealt with a PUD and a plat as a part of Liberty, which is actually the first PUD that was done in Panama City North. So going back to what actually created Panama City North was when the city did their evaluation or appraisal report back in 2007, 2008. I was a consultant for the city. I did work on the evaluation and appraisal report. And at that time, there was a lot of potential growth to occur in Panama City. Panama City had annexed up the railroad. There were several properties up in this area that was annexed into the city. And so it was so separated. What we did was develop an overall planning overlay district called Panama City North that took in these multiple large landowners that occurred up here. And there's several more other than this site. And in doing it, what we did was created a whole process to do entitlements in Panama City North. So the area in Panama City North, you have to do an urban community category, and it's intended for large master plan communities. And all these tracts up here are predominantly owned by one owner or one entity. And then they are developed through these PUDs and through these categories that are developed through there. So you have to do that to start with. So these land use categories were all created, and these happened. And after the evaluation and appraisal report and the comp plan was updated in 2010, 2011, these amendments started coming in for the Panama City North area. And I was involved in several of them, including the Liberty property and the Shelton property. So I've been working on the Shelton property for over 15 years. We developed the land use category. It was changed to urban community, which established you have to set the maximum density, which is the 1,800 units, and the maximum intensity, which is the 450,000 square feet of commercial. So in doing that, you have no zoning. So there is not a zoning category that's set up from urban community. So the zoning has to be a PUD, and it's specified in the comp plan that it will be a PUD. And so therefore, to actually apply zoning to the property, you have to submit what we just did, which is a PUD. And where we're at in this process is and the same owner has owned this property. He's the one annexed it in 1998. And we've been working on, I've been involved in this property, as I said, for the last 15 years. We've been working on several different aspects, including the city. So there is a spine road that runs up through the middle of the property. It comes from John Pitts Road, and it goes all the way up to the port property to the north. This road, this right-of-way, was given to the city. The city owns it today. There is dry water and sewer lines placed in this road right-of-way going up to the port. And so there is a potential long-term, and we've looked at it. We've worked with the city in discussions with the county of, possibly being another alternative to John Pitts. But in addition to that, there's also the Gulf Coast Parkway and Tram Road, as you know, coming from 98 to Star Avenue, is the first link of that section, and the DOT is completing that now. The next link will be from Tram Road and Star going up past this property and crossing 231. So one of the things I've done is coordinate with DOT. We've kept this property in that right-of-way, so the right-of-way will actually cross. The preferred route that was voted on by the city of Panama City and by Bay County goes through this property. So in the future, you will have another access also up there. Will benefit this entire area, benefit Panama City North, definitely will benefit Panama City North area, to have a connection that can get you out. And then in addition to it, with Liberty, and this came up when the Liberty development was ongoing, was connecting Majet Tower Road to Liberty Boulevard. And so that will occur, and you'll be able to connect down from Majet Tower Road. It will also help alleviate some of the traffic on John Pitt. So, long term, we've been working on several of these large PUDs, but looking at traffic, looking at water and sewer, and whether or not in the future, there will be opportunities, and this property will play a big role in that, of having public facilities up there like water and sewer, the city having municipal offices, police station, fire station, substation. So between these developments, that will occur up there, and it's actually part of, through a public facility civic obligation in the land use in the PUD. As you actually start to develop, you'll have to meet those requirements. So what we're here today to do is really to zone our property. We're now ready to zone it. What we want to do is continue to develop plans for it. I know you asked a question when it would start. And we have to do the analysis for the PUD document itself. So we have to set a baseline to be able to establish a build out date to be able to run the analysis portions for the amendment itself for the PUD. So right now we don't have a start date. Now this is in the beginning of the design process. So we haven't developed an overall design. We're not moving forward with the development. What we're doing is setting our zoning and getting it in place now and continuing to work with the city. And the county would be involved too. John Pitts is a county road. Star Avenue is a county road. So we've been involved with them for the last 15 years. And this will be a coordinated effort between the city and the county, just like Liberty. This area will continue to grow, but also the city will continue to coordinate with not only Bay County, but also with DOT too. And, we've analyzed, we did the traffic. We analyzed the new improvements going in. We analyzed the new improvements that are occurring on Star Avenue, which was, again, it was a party from Panama City, Bay County, and DOT, funding those improvements. DOT is planned to be improved in 6-lane into the future, will also help to alleviate a lot of traffic in these areas. And then, as you know, as these developments continue, it will require Star Avenue to be upgraded. There's a lot of different improvements that will occur. So this is the beginning. I know it looks like a very large development, that's coming here, but this is being planned, it's being coordinated and worked through the channels. And we're not here to ask for a development today, but what we are here to ask for is the approval of the PUD that will allow us to begin better design and more coordination on what we can actually put on the property and what the property actually will be in the future. I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is anyone in the audience here to speak on this item? See none. Any other discussion on board?
That's pretty well explained.
See none. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion approved. Second. Motion second. Please take roll.
Board Member Carroll.
Yes.
Board Member Stamps.
Yes.
Board Member Barker.
Yes.
Board Member Rich.
Yes.
Chairman Newbauer.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Item number 8.
All of it. They spent a lot of money to get it. Yes.
All right, item E is a text amendment to the Unified Land Development Code, specifically sections 102-2 and 102-36, titled Development Order Exceptions. Staff is requesting an amendment to section 102-2 and 102-36. The amendment will provide additional exceptions to the requirement for a development order or to obtain a development order. Currently, the ULDC or Land Development Code requires all construction and renovation projects to be subject to issuance of a development order unless the project meets the exceptions described in section 102-36. There are currently 2 conditions or 2 exceptions where DO is not required. That's under the reference section in the staff report. But basically, one is a no development order is required when a development has been issued by the city prior to the adoption of the code. And the other one is development or redevelopment activity is included as part of a larger common plan or larger plan of development or phased development, which a development order is issued. That's currently in the code. We're asking, or the text amendment is requesting to provide additional exceptions to the requirement to obtain a development order. Just real quick, those include construction of non-habitable accessory structures less than 1,000 square feet, renovation, repair, alteration, or maintenance to the interior or exterior of an existing single-family home, duplex, triplex, or quadplex. It's existing. Where a building permit is not needed and it doesn't increase the square footage of the structure or change its use. The third ask is not require DOs for renovation, repair, alteration, or maintenance to the interior or exterior of an existing single-family home, duplex, triplex, or quadplex. Where a building permit is needed for the following purposes: roof repair, replacement, repair of chimneys, stairways, repair of and replacement of windows and doors and siding, repair and replacement of electrical, mechanical equipment, replacement of plumbing where no new utility connections are being requested. And then final one is repair, maintenance, repair, and replacement of public and private utility lines and components, drainage facilities, and other infrastructure where there is no impact to environmentally sensitive lands or expansion of capacity of the facilities. That's just sort of a quick summary of it, and I'm happy to answer any questions y'all have.
Any staff, questions for staff?
So right now, if you wanted to do one of these activities, you have to come to city, get a development order, and then proceed with your contractor.
You're supposed to.
You're supposed to.
Yes.
This helps
It's
to
just-
remove that requirement.
That's right. Because
Formally.
to be frank with y'all, we just don't have the bandwidth to require development orders for every 100-foot, 100 square foot shed or,
Yeah.
those things. But if you look at the way the code is currently read, it says all construction or renovation requires a DO. Where's that line? We're trying to draw that line with this.
If you remodel your bathroom, you're supposed to get the development order.
But this is eliminating.
This is
a lot.
eliminating.
Assumption is that it's
Red
just
tape.
adding this, increasing the footprint.
Can we eliminate more of that red tape?
Add some more.
This is a start.
Anything? A dollar amount? I mean, is that something or is that?
Well,
kind of-
I'm glad you brought that up. One of the things, this doesn't require a change to the code, but one of the things we're doing or in the process of doing is providing an application process that's a joint development order and building permit application for like single family homes. Because usually when someone comes in to get a DO for their single family home, they've already got the building plans already. They want to go.
Been there.
And this process about getting your development order first and then going back and getting your building permit, it slows things down. So that will be a combined process, hopefully in the near future, in a month or two. We're hoping to have all the kinks worked out of that. But that doesn't require a change to the code. But this, we really need to amend the text in the code because, while we
can
don't.
reapproach this. I mean, we can approve this today and
Yes.
still kind of do some more fine tuning.
Absolutely,
More
yes.
places to cut, make it a little easier for somebody to do a project without having to
Correct.
jump through hoops.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just a good starting point.
Okay.
So this covers existing homes as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Most of them.
Yeah.
Is anyone in the audience here to speak on this item?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Got a motion?
Second.
Motion second. Please take a roll.
Board Member Carroll.
Yes.
Board Member Stamps.
Yes.
Board Member Parker.
Yes.
Board Member Rich.
Yes.
Chairman Newbauer.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right. This now brings us to the audience participation portion of our agenda. Does anybody wish to comment on any item in today's meeting? Seeing none. Is it sure?
I thought we were gonna get a lot of fireworks.
I did.